back. This is episode 2002. Near misses and nicknames.
2002?
2002. We're back to 2002. Retro. 2002, not episode 2002. 2002, A Space Odyssey. No, I made a mistake. Just like I did the bottom left-hand corner.
Paging Major Tom.
Major Tom. You know what? I apologize. It's episode 202. 2002. Eventually.
I mean, I was getting thrown back to like Chingy and all those guys.
1,800 more episodes in 4 hours, for a week at 52 weeks a year, 200. I would be 64 years old.
Still doing podcasts.
Still doing podcasts, yep. You know, we have been down to Key West a couple times. Obviously, we'll probably be in a little higher round.
We would
be much smaller.
Yeah, we would have podcasted live through several hurricanes by then.
Yeah,
we will. We will be in hovercraft. Probably be the future. And
I'm still waiting for Marty McFly's hoverboard to actually become legit.
They have hoverboards.
It's nothing like his. I want his.
Well, they're going to use a plasma. I was listening to this. They were going to use a plasma generator, and a plasma generator is something you speed up to almost speed of light and containment field. You use magnets and you do it, and it creates its own gravity, and that's where you'd get a hoverboard, something like that. They're talking about all the rockets they're using now. Maybe in 20 years, they're going to be an anachronism. I was able to come up with anachronism, but couldn't say solemnization earlier.
Sodomization.
It sounded like sodomization of the marriage. But that's what we're talking about. We're talking about plans. There's a storm coming towards us, but that's not a big deal. It's probably going to turn into nothing. If it turns into something, you will hear from us because
this is a party storm for us.
They're going to stay here. If it becomes that big where it becomes a Category 2.
Nah. Well, most people will still just be like, nah, Cat 2, whatever.
No, Cat 2, I'm taking my daughter out.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Just in case, because I never know on something like that. But if it's tropical storm bordering on Category 1, I'll probably be staying too.
But
there still could be tornadoes.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So
whatever.
You can get that any place too. So
I'd rather deal with our hurricanes than a tornado multiple times a month with no warning, no nothing.
You're right. Well, what I meant is,
or blizzards.
If we evacuated, I would call you guys. And from here, and I did that with Bill. I did some shows with Bill and David Kay. I don't know if you know David Kay, Video Dave, but I spoke to him a couple times. And this crazy, eccentric guy, Chris Uland, every time he was on the show, he would just start talking. He has this big thing about marijuana legalization. It's going to happen. But now it's like, it's a foregone conclusion. It's going to happen. And it's actually going to happen nationwide, probably by
you just
2024.
Need to chill and let it happen.
Yeah, no, but he's like freaking out like it's slavery. He's fighting slavery. And they go, slavery was wrong. I guess actually criminalization of marijuana is wrong. It's got to take its time because pharmaceutical companies have to get their little hooks in it and make some money. Because you can't let anybody just make their... I mean, imagine if everyone made their own liquor.
The one thing that people need to fight for to go ahead and hurry up and pass is our frickin' time change. Daylight savings times needs to be over with.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of people that are as worked up about it as there are people that like to be smoking some weed. That's the thing about it.
Well, no, because they'd probably prefer it to be darker sooner, so they could just relax in the house and not have to deal with the sunlight.
It's a non-issue for some people. No, it's a non-issue for some people, and some people, a small group of people are passionate about it. But more people are, the reason why the marijuana legalization, because there's several things. There's the people that want to use it. There's people that want to sell it. There's the people that want to prevent people being jailed for it. That's number 3. And there's probably a number 4 one there. I don't miss it, but there's a huge
Medical purposes.
medical purposes. Yes. So you may have like this movement behind it. Now, if you're able to convince people that time change is like this, that, you get them to go on board, but it's like there's no one fighting.
It's already,
there's no one against. There's no one against what I'm saying. There's no one against changing it back, not doing it. You know what I mean?
right. Well, it passed in Florida. It just didn't get through Congress.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, right? It's just like one of those things people don't. They can say, "Oh yeah, sure. No time change. I don't have to change. I don't have to set my clocks again. Fine. We got lights and all that stuff. We got all the light we need. Stuff like that. We have our own electric lights. We got the solar lights and all that stuff.
It's reversed from what you're thinking.
You mean people are fighting it?
Yeah. People want to. No, people want
Stay light longer.
Right.
No. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh.
I'm just saying it's not passionate. It's like you go and get them. If you go and say your idea, and people say, "Sure, I'll vote for that," and there won't be any money fighting against it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just that people are like apathetic about it. That's what I mean. They're apathetic. Go, well, fuck, who gives a shit on that? So we're there, and what we were talking about? We were talking about the
storm.
We got the storm. Wonder what the strip clubs are like right before a storm. If you're a stripper, what are your
thoughts on a hurricane? Do you still work? Do they keep you open?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's a good place to
Do you
hang
take
out.
care of the lonely locals? Because you're a bar. Most of our places stay open. Most of our
Well,
bars.
but then you lose a lot of your disposable income. You lose all the tourists.
Yeah, but
And I mean, you got.
I don't know if the
guy-
catch
guy-
stays
guy-
open for hurricanes, but CJ stays open until the last frickin' minute.
They didn't reopen as fast as we reopened.
their waterfront.
We opened up on Thursday after the thing. We were like the second after Tower. Mm-hmm. We were second or
Yeah,
third
but
best.
the waterfront properties had more damage. That's why they couldn't open.
But
Well, that's what was more important. You know, because before a hurricane, people still have all the food. After the hurricane, you got to feed the people that are fixing everything.
yep.
That's when you got to get ramp up. So, if there was a hurricane, we're prepared to do the show.
We still have our big generator, so we can fire up the house as long as we have cell service. We can hotspot
How many
and
gallons? How many gallons would you need I guess.
I have. If I had to estimate 100 gallons of gas, I could store here on property.
And how long would that run your house?
Oh, for a long time.
5-6 days.
Oh no, way more than that.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends. It depends on how much we.
I think that's a 3-gallon, 4-gallon generator.
Our generator will run this
Keep
entire
the-
house.
Yeah,
You backfeed
keep the
it.
AC off.
Yep.
Yeah, keep the AC off. You're going to run your lights, your fridge, and
Fans.
little things like that. But I have 2 30-gallon gas tanks plus several 5 gallons. Plus, I can fill up the boat, which is 140 gallons.
But it's a little more than average because we have multiple vessels. Therefore, we have, gas caddies or like fuel caddies.
Yeah.
So they're all behind the wall of the tiki.
Not
over
even
there.
talking about the spare boat out front
Right,
that
yeah,
has a 30-gallon gas tank in it.
So we have a lot of fuel.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You said, well, I know where I'm coming if.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever need fuel?
Yeah.
We were over
No, I
prepared
think-
for Irma and didn't
I
even
think
use
it's
half
gonna
of
be-
the
I
stuff
think
we
it-
had.
Yeah. I heard after was it Andrew, one of the former hosts on the show, Connor, and a guy who passed away, Charlie. No, it wasn't after Andrew. It was after Wilma. They people evacuated here. They were driving around, and he jokingly referred to they were looting, looking for propane and all that stuff. And they go, he was talking about it on air.
Yeah.
And they go, well, that's not seen kindly down here.
It's not, but I will tell you this, that if I had left 30 gallons of gas at this house and evacuated, and there was locals that were stuck here and had no fuel and couldn't run their generators,
That's right.
I would be absolutely okay with them coming and stealing my fuel.
That's a very
Not stealing it, more
Well, right,
like
but taking it.
contacting.
Right, leave a note. Hey, this is me.
Yeah.
Well, they
took
wouldn't.
it. Right. Well, no, they probably would. I mean,
But-
they.
We had an issue when we evacuated for Irma. And now, mind you, if we had stayed and we were here on property and there was gas and all this kind of stuff, and somebody walked onto our property, seen our generator running and lights on, and didn't say anything and tried to grab something, I'm sorry, you will be shot and we'll ask questions later.
Right. That was in Homestead.
But...
Oh, that happened at Homestead?
Yeah. We had generators running. We were outside. Jenna was sitting out there having a cigarette, and all of a sudden she was like, oh, I saw something move. Nah, it was probably nothing. And then all of a sudden there were two figures standing in the shadow of the light trying to come in and steal one of our generators.
And I was screaming for
into
them.
the yard.
Yep.
Eight-foot fence.
They scaled an 8-foot fence to jump over, and they came straight at me. Didn't see me.
Yeah.
And I was screaming for them to come help me. They were on the other side of the house, and I was on the exhaust side.
We couldn't hear,
so they could not. Damon, and Papa could not hear me.
And the people that were coming.
And Mikey heard me. And so Mikey, my son Mikey, came back and he was like, "Mom, what's going on?" I'm like, "Take my position," because I was making a shadow. So Mikey stood in the doorway, mocked my shadow, and I ran to the other side of the house. And by the time Damon and Joe got in with the guns, with the laser pointers, those two friggin' hauled ass, jumped back over the fence, and ran away. And then they went up and down the streets with guns aimed and the laser pointers aimed, and cops were driving by and everything. They didn't even care.
Again, if you were a 100% looting...
What was that?
This was Irma. This is right after
in the Redlands.
In the Redlands, we were
What were you doing up in?
We evacuated.
Where were you?
At Damon and Joe's old house.
Oh,
but
we moved down here.
If your mindset is 100% loot and don't care, don't ask, we're more than we're more than willing to help people. If we have gas and we don't need all of it, or you're suffering and need some, we are more than willing to give.
Yeah.
But if you're going to come onto our property with us there and just try and take, that's not right.
Yeah.
This isn't the purge.
I know. That's well, you know what's funny? You didn't hear lots of stories. You heard some stories down here, but not so many.
Yeah.
I was amazed how few.
It was in
Stories.
Homestead.
Yeah.
Right? Down here. It's just amazing. I guess it is
It's the local love.
Yeah. We're looking out for each other, looking around, don't go in that yard.
We had our big generator, and we ran our house, our neighbor's house, and a following house for 3 days until the power came back on. We ran all of our fridges and a couple lights and fans. Didn't ask any of our neighbors for any fuel, nothing. We had it all. We're more than willing to give and help people, but if you're trying to come onto our property and just take it without asking, you're worthless.
Okay, Joe, let me ask you this question. So you evacuated on Thursday?
The night before the storm, before they shut down the highway.
Yeah.
Friday.
We left like 4 hours before they shut down the highway.
Okay. What did you have in your car? I mean, what liquor? What kind of liquor?
Oh, we had.
Oh, well, we actually...
You want to start this list?
We actually... I have a pitcher.
I had 2 handles of Captain. We had probably 5 cases of beer. We stopped at Racetrack in Homestead, got more beer and ice and all kinds of stuff.
They still had that?
Oh, yeah. They were still open. And when we first started, we probably had an 8-foot tower of beer that we could not fit into the fridges. Now, mind you, there was an inside fridge, an outside fridge, and a freezer. And we still had an 8-foot tower of beer. We were running low like day 2 after the storm because we weren't allowed back down here.
So that was Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Because
we didn't get back down until Wednesday morning.
Yeah. Okay. We had a couple cases of beer, 2 cases of wine, and 2 handles of Tito's. And we stayed at a hotel that had a bar and a happy hour.
No.
And they had the bar open every day.
How far did you go?
Lakeland.
Oh.
Jeez.
Well, that was Lakeland. That actually got more of a hit than here.
Yeah. We had more of a hit in the Redlands than we did down here in Key Largo.
No, that's not true.
Higher winds.
Yeah. So when they came across, and then they came down, and then they looped around and hit Lakeland right there. But we we were running out. They started closing. I guess everything was closed on Friday. Holy shit! Yep, there's the 8-foot case.
No, that's after we filled the fridges. Jim's looking at a picture that's taking up the entire
Is there
length.
kegs back there?
No,
Empty. They're empty.
Yeah, that was from
Those
a
are
previous
for
party
their birthday
that
parties.
they had.
Okay,
But
so the kegs.
we had filled the fridges already, and these were the overflows of beer. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 cases of Coors, 1, 2, 3, 4 cases of Bud Light, and and a Corona on the ground, as well as the fridges were all full.
Well, that's preparing.
But there was a lot of them.
Mind you, nobody touched my captain.
Yeah.
There was a lot of us.
Yeah.
So it was Damon, Papa, Damon's mom, and
Matt and Mike.
Matt and Mike, my twins, and then us two.
And probably like 1,000 rounds of ammunition.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you want to feel safe, you just hang out with those two.
Yeah.
Because I was a little frazzled after those two guys came straight for me. And after that, I was like...
And that was on Sunday?
That was on...
Saturday night.
Oh, right
Early
after
Sunday morning.
After it passed?
Yeah, it was gone.
Right after
Trees
it
were already
passed.
down, and I think they hopped over the part of the fence where one of the
that's
palms
when
came down.
We started, when it passed you, that's when we started
Feeling it, yep.
And I was up the night before, I was doing some podcasting, and Sunday, it was for a couple hours, and then through the morning, and then they got up around 11, and it was Sunday morning at 11, it was past us.
Yeah, we had some serious crap.
And what did we eat that day?
Jim,
I don't even remember.
food.
All I know is we had one little tiny countertop deep fryer, and we had to fry about 12 pounds.
We didn't need to. It's just
We had to.
Fried.
Because remember, we couldn't run all the fridges and the little portable AC and all that stuff and keep all of our stuff frozen. So we fried probably 12 pounds of chicken wings on a little tiny countertop fryer.
took
Oh,
hours.
it just kept on going.
Yep.
Kept on going. Well,
Yeah, we ate very
what else
well.
did you have to do?
We ate
Nothing.
very well.
We sat out on the patio, drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, watching the storm go over us.
Most of it, we were outside
Yeah.
for most of it.
Yeah.
But I
Up
will
the
tell
trees
you,
leaning.
when it started getting real bad, it got real loud in the house, only because Damon had an actual fireplace. So when the wind would, just scoot across the top of the opening of the fireplace on the roof, it would howl inside the house. It was like suction. It was like, and it was loud.
Okay, that creates
So
lift.
I sat in. I was sitting in like one of their big comfy
You
chairs
feel a pressure change
in the corner. Yeah. But I was sitting. I was telling Nanny this yesterday, actually, that I was sitting in this, kind of like this big L couch, kind of over in the corner, right by the plug-in in the wall, and I was sitting there just chilling out, playing on my phone, and I heard like a thud, just a little tiny thud, like. So I peeked out the windows, which you could see. The only thing you could see was through the little air holes that they have in the corrugated metal for the the hurricane shutters. And I could see that a king royal palm had fallen down next to the house. It was probably 20 feet high, and all I felt was thud. Like, that's how strong this house was. So we were pretty safe with that. The thing that almost didn't survive was there was they had a big metal kind of framework enclosure over the pool that was all screened. And as soon as it started lifting and some of the bars started falling down and landing in the pool, Damon went out with a big, long, level, like a 4 or 5 foot level, and started slashing
All the screens.
to keep it from ripping the enclosure off. And the day after the hurricane, they were all picking up trees and dragging them through the yards. And there was a church that had the complete driveway, blocked with all these downed trees. And they were doing all the big, heavy stuff. But I'm little, so my job was to clean the pool.
Yeah.
And I was in that pool for 4 hours. Is how long it took me to dive down to the deep end every time.
Having fun in there.
And I was the only one that wasn't overheated. I had a blast cleaning out that pool. But pom-poms all the way to the bottom of the deep end of the pool. There was just full of them. Pieces of, giant pieces of screen that had ripped off and fallen down. And then when I drove my little car back to Key Largo the day after, 2 days after when they actually let
On
us
Tuesday.
back in. Yeah, when they let us back in.
Yeah, they opened up at 7 in the morning. It was all of a sudden they told us the night before maybe or something they were gonna, or the day of.
They told us the night before. That's
The
when
night
we found
before?
out. Yep.
11 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
It was late, so then we just packed our stuff
think they
back
were
up.
It was a 7-hour notice.
Yeah, it was not very much.
Oh,
And we-
then midnight.
It was midnight. I think it was midnight.
We were-
Could have been at- remember going there? We got there. We started out at. We started out a couple hours later. Obviously, we were at 9, 10 o'clock. We slept so much, like there was no reason. We're headed back. Everything's behind us. Remember driving in?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about driving in. And then we got a little thing called a regular's nicknames.
Yes.
It was a great thread on one of my favorite groups in Facebook, and I lifted some things on there that I thought were interesting. We'll be back. We're taking our pee break.
Pee break.
Whether you're one of our regular visitors to the Florida Keys or you can't wait to visit for the first time, you'll want to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the Florida Keys. To learn all the secrets, tips, and the stuff we don't talk about to anyone but each other, visit 43keys.com. Sign up for our newsletter and never miss any of the exciting things we have planned for you. That's 43 Keys, the number 4, the number 3, keys.com.
Okay, we're back. We were just talking about the aftermath of Irma, and it was kind of riveting, the story, so let's get back into it. Okay, so we're going to backtrack a little. I'll tell you about coming back, but we're going to go right before that.
Yeah.
Right before you came, you were attempting to get back on Sunday because
Yes.
you had gotten pictures of your house that was surrounded by water, and you don't know if it was
It's still coming up, or if
still
it was
coming
going
up
back
or going
down.
down. You
I
don't know
didn't
what
know.
damage it was, and you were concerned about your property.
Absolutely.
So you tried to come in on Sunday. What happened?
Turned away.
What was there? What was there? Was it National Guard there and all that stuff?
No, not yet. It was local police,
That was Miami-Dade up there?
Miami-Dade and some in Monroe County. But
Were they carrying...
yeah, they were armed.
no, but they were carrying the heavy weaponry? Or
No.
Just sidearms?
Just sidearms. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because so you came in, they didn't let anybody in other than emergency personnel.
Now, mind you, if we would have been about 2.5 hours earlier, there would have been nobody at the road, and we could have just gone right there.
If you could get through, because you couldn't pass. There was part of the stretch that was heavily damaged, and that's what they were trying to clear and fill.
Okay.
So they didn't want to let any cars go through because there was an area where the water had gone all the way over that roadway, and then damaged a bunch of the asphalt.
So I recall, and you'll remind me, it was late on Monday when they told us we could come back early Tuesday.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of people. I mean, they were talking about maybe waiting until Thursday, Friday to let people back in. People
And
say
they
no.
were freaking out.
They were freaking out, and he just said, you know what, let it Tuesday morning.
Only to
And
Zone
that's-
3, which is us in the Upper Keys.
And that's what we heard. So we were like, all right, we'll pack up and we'll head out. Well, then we got news that people had sat there for 8-10 hours, and they said, nope, sorry, we're not letting people in today. It's going to be the next day.
When's this? What?
That was Monday night, Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So they had said we were getting access, but we weren't. We didn't gain access until Wednesday
I
morning,
believe it
early.
was
Wednesday morning. I got in Tuesday.
No,
maybe-
it was
no.
I don't remember the dates.
No, we
I
were
just-
So maybe Tuesday early morning. Then, I don't know.
Tuesday we got in the afternoon. If I remember correctly, yeah. We didn't stay that long. We
Because
Tuesday.
they passed through, what, Saturday?
September
Passed through
12th.
Saturday,
Yes.
Sunday.
So Sunday we tried, or we were going to try, and then we heard no, they weren't allowing. Monday we were like, all right, sweet, they're letting us in, and they denied.
We were back on the 12th.
Yeah, so Tuesday.
So and they had National Guard up there. I mean, I remember there was a Humvee with a machine gun on top of it.
That was probably later in the day, right first thing in the morning.
And they were saying if you had a permit, get in the left lane. If you didn't have any permit, get in the right lane so
Yeah.
they could shuttle you back around. And there were assholes holding up big pieces of paper. They weren't supposed to be in the left lane. And they were there, and they were just saying you see this guy. I've seen a soldier pointing. Get over there. We told you. When you sound,
Yeah.
we just pointed at a sticker. We had a little yellow sticker, and they waved us through.
Right.
We came in. I had a picture of my house, which was nice because Billy sent it.
Yeah.
I just had that tree down in there. It looked like we were fine. But I imagine what you showed up. You showed up earlier. What was it like driving into town then?
It was wet. It was very wet. And then as soon as we got over, going over the stretch, there was, of course, that part that they had patched, temporarily patched, so that people could get passed through because the road was washed out.
But up into our area, 101, they had pretty much cleared a lot of the tree
cleared
debris.
it all, but it was in the middle. So you saw piles and piles of debris. All of the roads, or all of the gas station signs were broken and gone. And shoved into the middle. So you could see like the Tom Thumb signs and all that stuff. And at Riva, where I work, that sign was shattered and all over the yard. Everything was everywhere. Public sign was completely down.
Well, they just put up the public sign a couple months ago.
Yeah. And then
there's just a couple places that are still just
we went to
open.
our house first just to check.
We had to go in our backup entrance.
Yes.
Because our main entrance had a bunch of trees down, which was the Calusa entrance. And we still had to go over some tree branches. And right when we got to our turnoff into our neighborhood or our street, it was still flooded.
Yeah.
We still had 2 to 3 inches of water in our yard.
Wow.
Yeah. And there was our fence was down. Our mailbox was funny because it looks like a buoy, but it had tried to float away, so it had tipped over to float. It ripped our fence out.
The electrical wire held it to the house.
And
Oh, I see it.
yeah, and then after we went home, we had to get a garden hose because you could tell that the water level had risen so much that it had saturated the entire dock with like silt that used to be from the bottom of the canals, and it smelt like dead pig ass.
Oh.
It was awful, and we still had water. We had no power, but we had water pressure. So we had the hose out, rinsing it all off, just trying to get rid of it so it didn't stink that bad. And then once we assessed that, I stayed at the house. Our dock, or our little base that used to sit underneath, or like we had our grill and stuff, had tried to float away. And I stayed at the house, and Tyler left.
Were you guys, were you packing?
No.
No, Damon and Joe were.
No, when you came back.
No.
No, Damon and Joe.
I told you when I left, my brother-in-law gave me, because you're allowed to evacuate with a sidearm, and my brother-in-law gave me a revolver.
This year and future, we will be.
Yeah, and I had it with me, and when I was going up, I go, put it in the glove compartment, and I go, can you get the cylinder out of it? And she didn't. She didn't know what it meant.
She couldn't clear that.
She couldn't. No, she couldn't get she couldn't get the cylinder out. So,
Moving on.
we're ready. We're prepared for this one.
We are. We should be. And
This
yeah.
is more of a drinking party from what we see.
Since we're talking about drinking parties,
Okay, so let's talk about Drunky McDrunkerson.
yes. Oh my God, perfect segue into it again.
I do that.
I saw this.
That's
great
why he
thread.
keeps me around.
Yeah, this great thread on one of my favorite Facebook groups, the Fraternal Order of Bartenders. It said, someone said, what is some of your nicknames for some people? And I put ours on, and I have additional ones, and I'm going to give you ours first.
Okay.
And I know other places probably have this, so Douchey McDouchebag,
I like
that's
that.
some guy. Drunky Drinkingheimer. We have a guy named Stabby who stabbed himself. We have the Vomitator.
Like
They
the
vomit a lot.
Terminator.
We have Asshammer. Ooh.
I like that one.
And then we have number 10 on the dick meter. And one I lifted from this comedy show called Vice. Not the new show Vice. It's Vice, capital V, small I. And the new show is capital I, capital V, capital I, capital C, capital E. That's the new show. It's Jolly Green Jerk Off. That's one of my favorite. But they just had this.
Why? Yes. Why was
He
it?
always wore green shit.
Where he wore
Wearing like camouflage and all that stuff, and acting like that.
I think I know who that
That's
is.
the Asshammer. He was Ass Hammer originally.
And then you changed it to Jolly Green Jerk Off?
We realized that it was wearing green all the time. So
See,
it became Jolly Green Jerk Off.
I think I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but I want you to have comments about. You can comment anything.
Okay.
About this. This is on the feed. Penis hands, and that was because the guy was banned for masturbating in the bar.
Well, that's just like on that one show
What?
where they cut off all his fingers because he was a chronic masturbator. That was from Sons of Anarchy.
They cut off his.
They cut off his fingers and then they gave him like fake hands afterwards.
Really?
I had to 86 a customer for jacking off under a table.
Really? What kind of? Okay, well, listen. If any of these names strike a note, and you have it, Anna. If you have a
Seriously, I had
you have
to.
some nicknames you want to throw out there, stop me, okay? And if anything's strike a note, okay, here it is. Skank Slam. Skank Slam.
I think
Like
that's
that one?
easy.
I had
That's a guy that only screws skank.
Skank Slam.
Okay.
You know, I can think of a girl that I used to call the cum dumpster.
There you go. The cum dumpster. That means she's kind of hoary.
A little bit.
And we're getting. How about Sammy Soup Pants?
Sammy Soup Pants.
Soup Pants.
Did he spill soup on his pants?
I don't know.
Pisser. He's a pisser.
Oh, there we go. I couldn't figure out that. He's a pisser.
Is a pisser? Sammy
Oh.
Soup Pants?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, how about this one?
Makes me-
Poop shoe. Poop shoe.
Who poops in their shoe?
They poop on their shoe or
Poop
they
shoe.
take a shit.
That's awesome.
Shaking it down their leg, you know?
Oh my
Pooping
God,
it.
poop shoe. Okay. This one's very particular, and it's old fuckface Carlos.
Old fuckface Carlos. Oh, Carlos.
Old
You know.
fuckface Carlos.
Oh.
I love that one.
All right.
Everybody loves Carlos.
Oh, Carlos, what do you?
I thought that I was reading it this morning after I did my meditation on being kind and thoughtful. And I saw old
That's not
old
oxymoronic
fuckface
at all.
Carlos, and I said, "Oh, that's right." Okay, this
Okay,
one,
old
this one's
fuckface Carlos. Okay, I'm sorry, Carlos, that you're old, but you must be a fuckface.
You must be a fuckface,
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
This one's gotta be good. This one's gotta be good. Oh, he's dying. He's dying, everyone.
Slappy Mick asshole.
Well,
Did we have a flatulence
I mean,
problem?
he must be slapped all the time.
No.
Slappy Mick asshole.
No, Slappy McAsshole takes it up the ass. And
Okay,
that fucker's
this
slapping.
one's very-
That thing's
this
all
one's
stretched
very
out like blah, 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 blah.
He's an old guy.
You know, Slappy Mick asshole. Okay. This one's very eclectic. Lucy, your balls are showing. Must be a cross-dresser.
You.
I almost wonder.
A cross-dresser.
If-
I gotta
if-
clean my
if-
glasses. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was tearing up so much I couldn't find them.
All right, I'm thinking that Lucy has something to do with Slappy McAsshole. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, Lucy, your balls are showing. Lucy,
There was a lot of douchebag and this stuff. And it's just that
But-
I just think in the context they were offered, they were good.
Okay, but Lucy might have been giving it to the guy with Slappy McAsshole.
Okay, here we go.
Stretch that sucker out.
And that's the new dating website.
No neck Nick. No
Oh,
neck
well,
Nick.
of course. I can think of a no neck Nick.
Guy,
Oh,
think of-
I pick things up, I put them down.
or it's could one of those guy gargoyle type people
No.
that come. I don't know what we missed here. This is killing me. There was a power interruption. There was a power interruption.
I
don't
wonder
know
where
what
we- I
happened.
wonder where we
So
left
we had
off.
a third break. It was at 33 minutes. I'm thinking I'm going to go through the list.
We might have missed
may have missed
limericks. We might have missed some of the list.
Limericks? Okay. Let me do 33 minutes. We did it after the break. We did 5 minutes. That was 28. I think that was a power surge or something. Let's go. Okay. If I do repeat myself, I do apologize. We're going to go through the nickname things again, just in case. Okay. I think I won't be able to say it. I'm going to skip the ones I've seen. I think I left out the Jolly Green jerk off.
I like Jolly Green jerk off. That was
Penis hands. He was banned for masturbating in the bar.
Yep.
Oh, behind the church, hand job Dan. I skipped that.
Oh, you skipped that one. Hand job.
The church, hand job Dan. How descriptive is that? That's a great one. Skank slam. Sammy Soup Pants.
Yep, that was the pisser. We had determined he must have pissed himself a lot.
Poop shoe.
Wiggle it down his leg.
And you know what? Always a crowd pleaser. Old fuckface Carlos. These aren't mine. I don't have a. I don't
Old
know.
fuckface Carlos cracks me up. Oh, I really hope that got
Okay,
recorded.
and then we have the Slappy McAsshole.
Slappy McAsshole.
That is beautiful. You can say this one. Lucy, your balls are showing.
Yeah, Lucy.
Your balls are showing.
Your balls are showing.
Is there any Rickies on there?
Yes. Here we go. No Neck Nick.
Yep.
Purple Jesus.
Purple Jesus.
Friar Fuck.
I like that one.
Pill
That's the
Cosby,
church guy down the street, ain't it?
Friar Tuck.
Big Boobs McGee. I guess Big Tits McGee would work too.
Friar Tuck was from Robin Hood.
Ah.
Then you had Dickhead 1 and Dickhead 2.
Yes. Kind of like thing 1, thing 2.
Parking Lot Paula.
Lot
Messica
Lizard.
Simpson.
Messica Simpson.
Tiffany Trump.
Yes.
Bert the Pervert. Les Miserable.
Les Miserables.
Miserable. Then they
Bert-
said
that's
Ellie.
like Chester the
I'm sure
Molester.
it's Les Miserables.
So much.
Bert the
like-
Pervert's like Chester the
Bob
Molester.
Noxious.
Obnoxious. I like Bob Noxious.
Well, there's one I didn't see. A knob gobbler.
A knob gobbler.
Squirty S.
I wonder how much Knob Gobbler gets.
Crotch digger.
That's the guy that's scratching his
craps.
shit all the time.
Okay. Hobo doctor.
Yeah, we figured that was either the doctor that's of
Yeah.
hobos or a hobo-looking doctor.
The NTFs, which is non-tipping,
Non-tipping
fucks.
fucks.
Inappropriate Tony, which
Yes.
could be inappropriate.
There
Bill,
could be inappropriate Jim. There could be inappropriate Anna. There would be inappropriate Jenna.
That's
How about
Inappropriate.
inappropriate Ian?
I think
because that would make sense.
Inappropriate Jenna would be really fitting
Yes.
because I'm very inappropriate.
Unless you can't be, then you're very proper.
Well, at work, yes.
Yeah, beat me up, Bobby.
Beat me up, Bobby, who gets his ass kicked all the time
Depends because he shits himself.
because he shits himself a lot.
These
Keeps
are
him in his
nicknames,
pocket.
guys. Rapey Dave.
Which there's a lot of rapies. There could be,
Rapey Steve.
rapey
I
Steve.
saw Rapey Steve and Rapey Carl and all that stuff. Sir stinks a lot.
Yeah, oh, he's got to be.
No baiting.
Hot dog water armpits, which I thought was unique. I thought.
How come does he stink in such a unique way?
Dick balls.
Which is this dude in
Dick
his
and balls. It's either a guy that's a real dick because he's the dick
and balls.
or a guy with dick.
Or the guy that's a dick that's got his two buddies with him.
Damn it.
Oh, and there's a wet shirt Jim over there. There's Squirty
Squirty
over there.
McSquirty! Woohoo!
Beer farts guy. God damn it. Look at that. Jeff No Jaw.
Ah, we didn't hear that one the
Oh, you
first
didn't see that one?
No.
The first time? Sad trash can.
Oh.
Rolling Rock boner.
Yeah, that we figured that was the guy
like
that likes
that one.
Rolling Rock that always has a boner.
A fart sucker.
Yes.
That was a good one.
There's plenty of fart suckers out there.
Butt stuff guy.
Butt stuff guy.
Hoary Lori.
Hoary Lori.
And there was a guy named Booger. He just openly eats his boogers. I thought that was gross.
Ugh.
We had a guy we called Patrick, and he was like Patrick from
SpongeBob.
And he would always ask questions. He would always ask, when he came in, he ordered the same thing to go, and he'd always ask if he could get the thing that he always gets.
Do you still have?
Yeah, chicken tailgaters. And he goes, I want that thing I always get. He goes, the chicken tailgaters. Yeah, that's it. And then he goes, and then he gets it and says, that's not what I wanted. So we'd ask him what he wanted, and he couldn't explain it. So we just call them at Patrick when they come in. It sucks if you're a Patrick, but that's the way Patrick is.
Sorry, Patricks.
And sorry, all these Lorries, hoary Lorries, and Carloses.
I'm sorry about it.
Old fuckface.
Old fuckface Carlos.
We did a couple of dirty limericks.
We did a couple of dirty limericks.
I've been trying to get Mom to respond to the Nantucket because I know she knows it, but she hasn't.
There was a man from Nantucket whose dick was so long he could suck it.
Blah, 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 blah,
As
blah,
he
blah,
sucked
blah.
on as he wiped off his chin,
He said with a grin, if my ear was a cunt, I would fuck it. That's what it is.
Woot woot, you guys made it.
Yeah, we made it. Okay, Trent. There was once a man from Trent who had one so long that it bent. And in order to save trouble, he turned it in double. Instead of coming, he went.
Oh.
And then, there's another one. There's a guy from Boston. There was a guy from Boston who had a little Austin. And he had room for his ass and a gallon of gas, and his balls fell off, and he lost them.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we're going to end it because it looks like this storm's
It
going to be
looks
coming
like
in.
we might get a little wet.
Hey, listen, if you want to have a drink, please come to the catch. Have a drink with me. We're going to be, hopefully, this is episode 2002.
2002!
The year
202.
2027. It's the year 2027.
Woo-woo.
200.
And the DeLorean is out front.
Remember to subscribe to the show.
Subscribe.
And I'd like to thank Anna's going home tomorrow morning.
And hopefully you'll Skype me in some days.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'd like to thank Jenna and Tyler for having us here. And we're going to say goodbye. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.